So this next topic I really wanted to talk about and was trying to find more resources to learn about before I really spoke on it. So my apologies, this is a couple of days old. I don't necessarily know the exact status of what's happening for Frito-Lay workers as we speak, but I'll try to keep us updated on that as the movement kind of continues. But there's a tweet from a user named Michael who says, a Frito-Lay worker at the Topeka, Kansas plant died on the assembly line due to dense smoke and fumes. Employees were told to move their body and continue working. Many of the 850 plant workers work 84 hours a week, no days off. Their warehouse can get up to 100 degrees, and the kitchens up to 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit with no AC. These conditions, combined with insufficient wages, has caused staff shortages. Frito-Lay union workers are now on strike, and scab buses are empty. This is how capitalists view labor, nodes of production to be maximized until they are no longer useful. We must transition past this barbarism. We should look at the examples these plant workers are giving us right now and fight back against the employer class. So, this is really, really interesting to see. All around the country, you're starting to see more and more workers that are demanding to be treated fairly. You know, you saw the union, or not unfortunately union yet. You saw the workers in Bessemer, Alabama for Amazon who were fighting to unionize. And of course, in that case, you saw Amazon really, really, in just a very blatant way, they violated many federal labor laws while hanging up anti-union, paperwork and materials all around their facilities and engaging in many union busting practices that are expressly illegal. And the Federal Labor Board did actually rule on that and said that this is, they went against many federal labor laws. But this kind of raises an issue, and that is that labor protections in this country have not been scaled the way that they should have been. Under the Reagan administration, you saw a great dismantling of the unions. And in response, we have not really seen any sort of major movement in the other direction since then. We've seen union proliferation drop. We've seen the number of union workers in America get really, really, unfortunately, very low. But in recent years, you've seen a different trend. So you've seen a lot more excitement around unions, a lot more recognition of the potential of worker power through unions, even in many local businesses and things like that. And so this kind of ties back to a pretty key element of the infrastructure proposal. And I know I keep talking about that and I keep bringing things back, but it is a very significant legislation if it were to pass. And one of the main reasons for that is that there's a legislation called the PRO Act, which about, I'm not sure with a percentage, but a decent amount of the proposals that are contained in that bill are going to just be rolled into the infrastructure bill so that it can pass as part of that large package. And the major elements of the PRO Act are protecting the right to organize by keeping large companies from engaging in these union busting practices. It would institute a lot steeper fines so that it discourages them from, basically trying to stamp out the possibility of a union. It would put major fines so that would be a lot less tenable of a way to go for those large corporations or businesses. It also, it really provides more stipulations on, how you identify who an independent contractor is. So if you're like me and you do some DoorDash, some delivery apps on the side to make some income, this may help us to be able to get paid fairer wages and to be able to have some protections and maybe possibly to be considered as workers in some interesting dynamic, but not totally clear if it will do that. You probably still will be an independent contractor, but you may be more entitled to a couple more benefits than you otherwise would have. That part remains to be seen, but all in all, this would go a great deal to helping workers like the ones at Frito-Lay to be able to unionize effectively and to be able to organize without impediment. I would also say, I think, I just think it deserves to be said that I'm standing in solidarity, as I hope many of you would as well, with those workers, as those conditions are abysmal. They should not be having to deal with that. Nobody should have to deal with that. And it's time that we put an end to, to exploitation wherever it may be in any workplace. And so, solidarity to the Frito-Lay workers, and I hope that your union push can be successful, and that you are successful in achieving a better life and a better quality of life for you and your families.